am here with my brother. I don't know how long we've been knowing each other now.
Over 30 years.
So, over 30 years.
Yeah.
Into our knowing each other, being connected. First starting out connected in the Lord, then we became friends, and now the LifeWave opportunity, and shared it with them. Had no idea all this stuff. I told him just before we started, I said, man, it's like you're a $6 million man or something. You got this and that and that. I mean, it was crazy. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to set the stage because he actually shared testimony. You shared the testimony with me. So I'm in line at Kohl's right during it was at Christmas Eve. It was Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And so I'm in line. This line is like crazy long. It's like ridiculously long.
Yeah.
I'm in line, and I hear this voice say, man, is this really the line? And I'm like, I know that voice. And I look around, and his brother Marquie is Marquie. After that, I'm going to let you take it from there, because your testimony, I mean, there's so many people out there that it could be from sports. They had an injury. It could be from just life. They got in a car accident or something.
Yeah.
Then you have people who they work in an industrial setting like you, and they got injured at work. They're dealing with something, maybe a home accident or whatever it was, but they're living with pain. They're living with pain that they can't seem to find a solution for outside of surgery and pharmaceuticals. And we just like to say, as a disclaimer, LifeWave products, they are not intended to diagnose, to treat, to cure any type of disease or medical condition. But what LifeWave products do, they give the body what it needs so that the body can heal itself. And so I'm going to let you take it from there, Marquie. We were in Kohl's, and
right.
Then you started to tell me what.
I said, first of all, man, you have no idea what this stuff is doing for me. I sensed that you saw I had all kind of energy. So this particular day, I do remember how good I was actually feeling, and so that people actually know a little bit about my day-to-day routine. I get up at about 1:30 in the morning. I'm at work by 3. I work till about 1:30 or 3:30, sometimes 5:30 in the afternoon. So I have long days. I'm a truck driver / crane operator by profession. And in doing so, I've always been active, whether it's been in church or either with my kids or playing basketball. I used to flip with the Jesse White tumblers at one time. Yeah, when I was a kid, man, that's actually how I tore my knees up. And I was a dancer back way when too. Mm-hmm. So, I've always been on the move. And over time, your body does go through things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so part of my testimony is when I was flipping, I ended up with a screw in my knee because it wouldn't stay in place. And they put this in years and years ago. I mean, probably a good 30 years ago. Yeah, that went in. So it recently just came out, probably a year and like 3 months ago. But after it came out, I thought it was supposed to be okay. They patched it up and it's supposed to be okay. No, it was worse than what it was before I went into surgery afterwards.
Let me just say, right. You said patched it up. We're not talking about they put LifeWave patch on it. No. So no, putting it back together, patched it up. Go ahead.
Right, no. So they just removed the screw and clamped it up. That's what they told me they were going to do. Mm-hmm. But the depth of pain felt like my the core of my bones were hurting. I'd just be laying in the bed for no reason at all, and it tremendous like pain like you wouldn't even believe. Let's fast forward a little bit, okay? About 10 years ago, my nephew stepped on the back of my heel while I was playing basketball and tore my Achilles tendon.
Well, I know about that, but go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
I helped you move when you had your...
Right, we're dragging my foot. Yeah.
So at this particular time, all right, now I'm putting that one on knee on pause for a second because they all going to tie in together in a few. So with my Achilles tendon, once I tore it, it snapped and rolled up my leg. So I had this bump that was in the back of my heel. And which is crazy because you don't know what you need that for until you ain't got it.
Right.
So you start running, it looked like you flapping, like a duck flapping. So I lost my ability to run right, of which I had just started a company took over my job, so I could not be at work. It's the same job, but another company took over,
Right.
and this happened. So I couldn't afford to
Be a liability to them.
and be off. I'm like, this just happened. I go to work Monday.
Wow.
So I didn't get it fixed until Black Patch. I put that on pause. Hold on. All right. So now let's go to my neck. Right. This degenerative disc back here. Okay. And because my shoulder years ago, when I was 18, about to be 19, I got shot in my chest with a sawed-off shotgun at point blank range. A double barrel. And I say point blank range is a horrible story. Anybody want to know what happened? And later on, I can tell you, or email me anybody. I can tell you exactly what happened. God be the glory. I had a lot of tragic situations happen to me. This one here, that was the first of its kind. I lost the ability to use my shoulder, lay on the side of my body.
Now you said how many years?
I was 18, so I'm 52, about to be 52 now.
So you said so 25 years, I think is what you told me. You couldn't sleep on that side of your body.
Oh yeah, for at least 25 years.
Wow.
So the issue is that over time this started calcifying, and so because it started calcifying, the veins started getting smaller too, which I started yawning a lot. I got really tired, fatigued. My shoulder, it would like fall out of socket at times. It got weak. I started taking vitamin D and K and stuff, and I'm looking for help. That's all I was looking for, help. And it got so severe to the point where now I'm worried. Like I barely can lift basic things. I can't do a push-up to save my life. And pause. You need to pause that right now because now I can do about 50
push-ups.
But yes, in a minute.
But it's something else you need to add with that.
Okay.
Because what was happening, like if you did certain movements, you got to tell them what was happening to your shoulder.
Okay, so say I went to push something heavy or go lift something heavy, or if I want to reach out for something with this arm with anything heavy, it could fall out of socket. At
like
times.
Mel Gibson on Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, and I would have to, and that hurts.
Find something to slam it to put it back into.
It's real pain.
Right.
Okay, and I experienced that so many times that I just don't like doing it. So I stopped using it as much, so I lost muscle mass. And it became more of a problem. Yeah, exactly. So now it's becoming more intense. So pause, right? So I have the shoulder, I have my knee, I have my Achilles. Right?
So now you mentioned that it was starting to calcify, that injury from the shotgun wound.
Right.
And then from the shotgun blast. And then from there, you driving the truck and you said you lost your range of motion as far as turning your neck.
Yeah, okay, so this is a real serious thing too because it's part of my job. You can't turn to look at where you're going because it's your lives, other people's lives.
Right.
Not just my physical state, but other people that and it's a job function that calls for you to be able to physically be able to do this. And it got so to the point I barely was able to look this way without fatigue pain. You can see it stretching because it became like leather on this side. And going this side is even more, it was feeling like leather. Yeah. So, it made it very difficult for me not only to do my job, but now I'm feeling like I may have to retire early. And go ahead.
So you have sleeping on one side of your body all from the shotgun blast. 25 years.
Oh,
Not sleep on that side of it. Then you have the scar from that blast. It was starting to calcify. Because of that, now you were losing mobility in your neck, and then also you mentioned it was blood flow to your brain as well that was being affected.
Right. So here's the thing. My daily function, I was waking up probably like a 9.2. And I know what a 9.2 feel like every day because you just learn to cope. And you kind of go along with it. You get up and move around for half hour before you can move. Yeah. Right? Before you really get moving. Yeah. All right. Some people take Advil or leave or whatever to do what they need to do. I literally have to get up to go somewhere to do something for half an hour so before I can feel like
an old car.
Yeah.
You gotta warm it up a little longer. That's because it's an old car. It's gonna shut off on you.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Oh. So you go from that. Shoulder would pop out of joint. And then, first of all, what patches were you wearing?
First of all, X39 primary. That's the first one. X39 and X49. That they helped me tremendously understand what I was lacking in not only in stamina, energy, oxygen. Oh, the thing I love the most, but I tell people that they don't expect when they actually put this 39 and 49 on the various spots that you're supposed to put them, right? I did this test on my daughter, which I actually explained it. This is the best way I can explain. You know how you go to the doctor and they give you this. They give you a mask because you're like a breathing treatment, so they put oxygen on your face, right? Well, I want you to imagine as soon as you put this mask on, like 10, 15 minutes into it, just take a couple deep breaths. And then you'll realize like it's gonna feel like you have like an oxygen mask type thing on because, wait a minute, but there's no mask. So you're getting more oxygen in your body through technology, some kind of way. I don't know. I know it's a patent. I know that works. And I know that's, well, however they doing it, that part works. Because now I got more blood flow, now I'm getting the oxygen to various parts of my body, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, more energy, more like, okay, my memory's starting to do some things too. I'm like becoming more sharp and aware. No brain fog, like mental clarity. I even started using better diction. But
let's open grammar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going overboard by stating how good I felt. Yeah. But at least looking at the health benefits now with my skin. Yeah. I told you about the cut. Yeah. Okay. My healing time on something that, look, I'm telling the truth. Yeah. Okay, look. I was washing clothes. I bent down. I stood up. And I cut my head. I cut my head so good that the skin rolled back and it started bleeding. I said, anywhere but here and here. All this anywhere. I cover this up. But here, no, you don't want to do that. Yeah. So I left it at this point. I found this cannula slab stuff and I slapped it on. It's like, well, like infection type thing. And then I got the what starts with C.
Did you say it's carnal sin?
Yeah, so I did. I slapped it right there. I got my X39 right here. And I got the glutathione on. I put that one right here. And look, anything that affects the liver affects the kidneys, right? Okay. So that's your detox thing. So I had something to actually keep this clean and work on my skin and my oxygen. Right. And look, all that did just make me,
you said it was
4 days. No, look. You said it's fake, right?
Yeah, it's only because I'm part of the same club, so I know what to look for. So that was the benefit you got from a level standpoint of your skin, and then let's go categorically. Okay. Let's start from the ground up. Let's do that. So your Achilles, I know exactly what you're talking about because I had a complete rupture and I had to get it surgically reattached, and after that it was like a year before I could walk without a crutch I was off the crutch for a while, but without a cane, and I looked normal. But it was about another year and a half before I could run normal. And I know what you're talking about. You call it the duck. And what it looked like when I was running until I got to that year and a half point is it looked like I was skipping because I didn't have any range of motion. My foot wouldn't flex. So I wasn't running from the ball of my foot. My foot wouldn't flex that way because of the Achilles. All that scar tissue, everything was tight. So you said that after you started wearing the patch, so you started wearing the patch, and then at what point? Well, first, when the Achilles happened, and for how long have you been where you didn't have that range of motion?
Man. Oh my. Okay. First of all, you see what I'm doing right here, right? Okay. Could you do that, Ben?
Well, not before, like I said.
Okay.
Not before that period of time.
All right. So I do 17 to 21,000 steps in a day at my job.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm walking around for 2 weeks with this X39, X49, and the other two, right? And then I even did SB6 too.
Okay. Oh, you trying to appetite to suppress it? Okay.
Trying to make it right.
Right.
You know. So plus, you know, lunch is like at 11 o'clock, and I start at 1:30 in the morning. So
yeah.
like, you know.
Right.
Hold on to lunch. Right. So what I'm doing is I'm noticing feels different while I'm walking, because I'm walking like on my heel.
Yeah.
My placement is like I'm taking off.
Yeah.
So when I went back to the gym, I jumped on the tread machine that day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I started really
So
running.
this is 2 weeks after.
2 weeks.
So 2 weeks after wearing
This
the patch.
thing was started repairing itself. The bump is gone.
So you had, and I've had, for mine, I didn't, because I had the surgical reattachment, but I know people who didn't get the surgery, and then they had both for the Achilles. I know somebody that their hamstring, it rolled up, it detached, and so I know what you mean by that lump where that tendon just rose up like a shade.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So
it's gone. It's
so you're on your ankle where your Achilles, you have the detachment where it rolled up.
Yeah.
Now that little bump is gone.
Yeah, and it was like probably about that big, about that long, and now it's flat. It's actually got a lining on it.
Yeah.
Now, like that it wasn't before at all.
You see the contour.
Yeah.
Where
the line where it's supposed to actually be at. Yeah, it's it's like filled in now. Like you can feel both sides. Before I didn't have that.
So now moving up to the knee. So they took the screw out. You still weren't getting any relief. They drained it, no relief. And so what's going on with the knee?
Virtual pain that I actually had that was consistent with me doing absolutely nothing, not even walking, over a period of probably 6-7 months. You know, because I expected the first 2 or 3 months to, you know, it's still healing, right? Yeah. Right. No, it never stopped. Yeah. So at this point, it wasn't until I started taking the patches where the pain diminished to the point where it didn't feel like the stabbing, robbing.
Okay,
I mean,
so
stabbing.
now it became bearable.
It just became non-existent.
Okay, so like a dull, faint, fading.
I do squats now.
You do squats now.
I can do squats. I can do it right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you got 2 weeks. You were able. You have your range of motion. That little bump where your Achilles rolled up.
Yep.
That's gone. And then, so at what period of time from starting wearing the patch out did you start doing squats?
Probably my second month, when I a week after I started doing the push-ups.
So 2 weeks for that. Second month, your knee, you're doing squats now, and then we're going up. We're going up. So now, as far as the shoulder,
9.2, waking up every day.
And then sleeping on your back, but you just couldn't sleep on that side.
I couldn't sleep on the side; it would go numb. It could fall out of the socket if it goes numb.
So your shoulder fell out of the socket while you sleep.
Oh man, it's happening. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So wearing the patch, from when you started wearing the patch, out to what point did you started noticing that I can sleep on this side of my body? It was how long before you felt that relief where you wake up?
Absolute relief, 2.5 to 3 months full. I'm talking about full.
Wow. But after 25 years of not being able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
From a 9.2 to, I would say a 2 in the first, and I'm talking about from the knee and the shoulder. I would give it, and this is with me at first wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't using consistency at first with the patches, and that's I believe the key, the consistency, and drinking a lot of water.
Water and electrolytes.
So when I started being more consistent, it was after my second week of actually having it. So I've been doing it for about 3.5 months, right? So in that 3.5 month span, my consistency has been at least 2.5 of that months.
Yeah.
Right. So I will look at my overall total experience from a 9.2 probably, right? And not at this point.
We're talking about measurement of pain.
Measurement of pain.
Yeah.
In a day, barely a 2. Barely at time, and that's with me having all the physical work that I do.
And being 53. Now 50,
I'm about to be 52.
52.
Yep.
52. Sorry for trying to add time. I'm trying to get you to catch up to me. In any case, so all of that, and we're talking about within months, your quality of life, your mobility changing. And so push-ups, from the time you started wearing a patch out, when did you get to that point where you went from your shoulder popping out of joint to being able to do 50 push-ups?
My son and I were sitting down. I told him, I said, I'm going to work out today. He said, oh yeah. My son is a gym rat, right? So that's what he does. He's going pro bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I said, okay, son, let's do some push-ups. He said, you want to do some push-ups? He said,
and he knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
He knows. So we stood face to face, toe to toe, and we're just going at it. He said, oh my God, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You all right? I'm all right.
He didn't call you old man, did he?
No, he was just tripping. He said after the first 10,
he knows what should have happened based on what usually happens.
Exactly.
With your shoulder popping out of joint.
So I did first 20 in front of him. And I took a break for a second, took a pause. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to try to overdo it. You know, I ain't trying to prove nothing to nobody, but I know
that's for his age category.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do it, boy. You're 21 years old. You're supposed to be doing the push-ups. Right? So at this point, I stopped and I do another 10. Right? He said, you good? I said, you know what? I got a little more in me.
Yeah.
I did another 10. Right? Held on for a minute. I came back up for a minute. Then I did another 10. He said, you just did 50 push-ups in under a minute.
Wow.
That was the first time. And now I can do it. I could probably do 30 and then do 20 right behind that.
Yeah.
And I have not been able to do that. And I say I have not been able to do that. And the doctor told me a long time ago I'll never be able to hold my babies again after this.
Wow.
They told me literally I'm better off, you know, this is not going to be good. It's not going to repair itself. And they were wrong.
But that's exactly what the X39 does.
Yes.
It gives the body what it needs so the body can repair, rejuvenate, heal itself. So 50 push-ups, the Achilles, the knee, sleeping on that side of your body, and then
running without the duck walk, right?
Running without the wobble. So, and then mobility in your neck, and then the blood flow, the increase in mental clarity. All of this from wearing a simple patch. Yeah. A simple patch that you wear for 12 hours on and during your waking hours. When you get ready to go to bed, you take it off, you throw it away. While you're wearing the patch, you drink plenty of water because your cells in your body use water to convert it into energy. And then also your body uses water as an exit strategy for toxins, to get toxins out of you. Get some electrolytes because that's gonna boost the water's ability to hydrate you. And from just doing that, you got all this benefit that you can say your body healed itself with this, with that, because you wore this patch that elevated copper peptides in your system. And when that happened, it aroused, it woke up dormant stem cells that went to work on your body so that now you have a better quality of life. Man, I want to thank you for sharing your testimony.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We want to share this with everybody because of that testimony. That's why we feel obligated to share this with people. how can you know that this helps someone like this?
Yeah.
And then you see other people that are dealing with things, and then you say, well, you know, I'm not sure about what do you mean? It's a patented technology. Everyone who understands patent, I'm sure right now they're trying to figure out, how do we get in touch with these guys? People that don't understand patents, we have a website that you can go to. It's called thisitsitinfo.com. And you know what? We want to invite you to come on, get on board with us, to share this with more and more people so that we can help people have a better quality of life. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Y'all take care.